Hey guys, thanks for joining again. Today I kind of want to go into some more details about our clubfoot program at our hospital. Now I know in a few videos past I did share a few details about that program, but I kind of wanted to go a little bit deeper and share a little bit about this program with you today. Now, I'm not sure about how many of you are aware or are familiar with clubfoot, but what it is essentially, it's a deformity that some kids are born with. They don't know exactly why. There's no conclusive data that shows a specific cause, but some kids are born with it. But what clubfoot is actually the children are born with one or both feet that are kind of twisted inward, and if it's not corrected, it has permanent um, problems for children, especially as they grow up, as they weight bear, as they run, as they learn to walk, and it really is a physical disability for them. But they have found, in terms of research-wise, a treatment called the Ponseti method, where it really has shown high success in correcting this deformity so that children are no longer able to have this permanent disability as they grow up. And thankfully, one of our staff, our occupational therapist, he is trained in the Ponseti method. And so we're very lucky to be able to utilize his education and training to help our patients. Now, part of the program, part of the treatment is first of all correctly identifying each child that has clubfoot, and then really educating the families on making sure that they're understanding the commitment that is required to continue with this program, as it is quite extensive. Once they agree and once they understand of that the treatments, we begin by first assessing and grading the severity of the clubfoot, and then we manipulate the foot in a specific position, and then we hold that position, and then we cast the child's foot using this plaster of Paris casting. And pretty much the cast is from the child's foot to the groin area. And each child, they have this cast on typically for 1 week, and they come into clinic every week. And for our hospital, we have our clubfoot clinic every Wednesdays. So every Wednesday they're coming, and then we remove the cast when they come, and then we reassess, we grade the severity of the clubfoot, and then we typically recast. And so recasting is done for several weeks until it gets to a point where everything has been corrected, except for usually the final part where the Achilles tendon is too short, so they're not able to kind of dorsiflex or bend their ankle to a normal range of motion. And so we perform a teniotomy. And what that is cutting of a complete cut of the Achilles tendon. So we cut that so that we're able to get that ankle in the correct position, and then we cast it for one more time, and that cast is for 3 weeks. At that time the child's able to regenerate that Achilles tendon and is able to grow and be in a lengthened position. And after that final cast is removed, then we place the child's feet in a brace where essentially it looks like two shoes with a bar attached in the middle. Now that brace is pretty much worn for 23 hours for 2 to 3 months. And then if the corrected clubfoot is holding and there's no change, then we are able to progress them to wear that brace every night, pretty much until they're 5 years old. So with this program, obviously, the earlier that we can treat the patient, the better it's going to be. So we have seen patients as early as like 1 week old in the clinic. And so obviously, if we catch it that early, then they don't require as much casting, which is great for the patients and for the families. But if they're misdiagnosed or we just miss identifying the clubfoot, I think the oldest child we've had is 2 years old. But obviously, at that point, since they're already walking and running, it's much more difficult, and it takes a lot more time, especially with the casting phase, in order to correct that clubfoot. But pretty much, you do the bracing until they're 5 years old, and thankfully, with this Ponseti method, even though you don't need any expensive equipment or materials, it's able to actually correct this deformity with very high success. And so we're really grateful to be able to provide this service to the community here. And obviously we couldn't have done it without some other support as well too. So we work with Clubfoot Care for Kenya, and they provide training They are able to procure the necessary equipment and materials that we need for our clinic. And obviously, they provide some logistics as well too, and they advocate for clubfoot in the country. And then we also collaborate with A Better World, and they're able to financially support us to purchase the materials that are required, and also cover some of the fees that the patients are required to pay coming to the hospital. So we really are grateful to collaborate with these organizations, and we're grateful to be able to be involved with providing this service for our patients here to really mitigate what could be permanent deformities and disabilities for our children, and they're able to grow to be healthy, normal, developing children as well too. So it's really a great benefit, and we're grateful to be a part of it. Um, and that's part of one of the services we offer at our physiotherapy clinic. But we're probably able to share a little bit more about some other things that we're able to do in our clinic next time. So we hope to see you next time in our subsequent videos. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.